So welcome everyone to the second edition of the Excel training, which we call Intermediate Excel. For most people, maybe 99.99% of people who work in Excel, this should be all you need to know. This is all I work with. So I don't use anything further than this Intermediate Excel. Okay, so let's start. Uh, so last time we taught you how to be useful, and now we are teaching you how to be dangerous. So you will be dangerous operatives with a weapon or Excel. So we'll teach you about logic, about analysis, and how to support decision making. What we'll do in this session is a quick recap of the Excel fundamentals, what we taught, what we learned the last time. Logical functions, advanced if logic. We started with a basic if, the first level of if logic, and we'll go further deeper into this. Text functions, data validation, lookup and reference. This is very important, lookup and reference functions. Using charts for analysis or communication, then going into pivot tables and pivot charts. Some nice to have additional and a few practical tips how we use Excel in the real world. Right? Let's go. Now, the rules remain the same. Ask questions at any point of time. Just unmute yourself, you say, excuse me, and ask a question. And at the end, we will have a question answer session. And apart from that, unless you're asking questions, please keep yourself on mute so that we don't pick up any background noise in the recording, which Nishant is doing. Okay. Moving on, a brief recap. What did we learn? We learned about rows, columns, cells. The cell is an intersection of a row and column. Columns are A, B, C, D, E, F in alphabets, and rows are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4 up till 1,800,000 something thousand. Basic formatting we have learned how to create cell colors, bold, italics, all these things. Then formatting numbers with 2 decimal points, numbers as a percentage, so on. And then a basic formula, sum, average, max, min, and if. That's what we have learned. Basic sorting and filtering, and we had worked on a real data set. So, sorry. So this is the real data. If you remember the same file which we had used, we'll be using this same file again. This is what we had worked on. We had used some if formulas. We had used some CPC, low, high, pass, fail, average CPP, all this is we had used. Now we'll build on this and make it a more go deeper into the data, right? So what changes from the basic level to intermediate level is that from single formulas, we move to logic chains. So what if this happens or that happens and 5 things happen, so I get the 6th thing. Life is not always that you have one factor. You have multiple factors, and Excel tries to kind of replicate it. So from manual checks, we go into an automated validation. Just viewing data, we go into analyzing patterns, and from tables, we go into some summaries and visuals. Somebody's trying to enter. Anusha is here. Hi, Anusha. Going forward, so the first one is if with multiple conditions. And let's go back to our database, which is the number of students. Just do a basic sorting before we get into this. The original sorting on the roll number, what we had done. Yeah. So what we will use is COUNTIF and SUMIF. So if we want to sum if, if we want to have the count of people from, let's say, Bangalore, how do we do that? We count if people are from Bangalore. So we can do this manually, one Bangalore, um, two Bangalore, three Bangalore, like that. Other way is a slightly easier way. We use the filtering what we have learned earlier. We go to data, we go to filter, and on the hometown, we remove select all, we choose Bangalore, and we say there are three people from Bangalore. Fine, awesome. But then if I have to type Bangalore here, okay, and I will type three people here. Then let's say I want New Delhi. Then I will select, okay, there is no New Delhi, there is only Delhi, fine, that's okay. We'll select Delhi, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I will type 6 here. It will take me about a few years if I have a view database. Easy way, as usual, in Excel, fast, repeatable formulas. Plus, we learned last time that we don't use numbers, we use formulas with cell references so that we can just copy paste it. So we use count if. Count if. So equal, we always say put an equal sign when we want Excel to do some calculations. So what is count if? Count if range. The first thing you see is range here, right? So this is the range I'm looking at. Again, I do a shift control up arrow as we learned last time. And I wanted to, if you see, Excel self-corrects. Comma, what is the criteria? Criteria is that this should be Bangalore. Now I've already typed Bangalore here. I'll just click here. So it is Bangalore. 3. Now I'll teach you one more thing. Now, if I have all these cities, if I have, let's say, Delhi, and what my cities are there? Kanpur, Chennai, Hubli. So let's put Kanpur, that is my hometown, by the way. Chennai, Hubli. Okay. Now, if I just copy this, okay, if I just see, you see this, E2 to E51. Just, can you say this E2 to E51? Now, that is E2. This is the block, the block of text which I'm selecting from, the block of cells is E2 to E51. This is E2 and the last one is E51. I want to keep this the same because all these cities fall in this block only from E2 to E51. But when I copy paste this, you look at this, it is coming E3 to E52. It shows E4 to E53. It is moving. So as we learned last time, it is called relative referencing. So every time you move one cell, the reference cell also moves by one cell, down, up, sideways. So we freeze it. How do we freeze it? We freeze it using the dollar symbol. Somebody said that dollar is a currency which does not move, although it does. So now I want to freeze the rows here, not the columns. So between the column and the row, I will put a dollar symbol. And between here also, between the column and the row, I will put a dollar symbol. Press enter. And now if you see $2 to $51, I copy this. See that $2 to $51 has remained across. Okay. Now suppose I want to freeze the column, then I will put a dollar here. Okay. Another dollar here. I can put a dollar here also. But again, if I put a dollar here, I have to freeze only the column because then if I freeze the row, what will happen is everywhere it will pick up Hubli because I have by mistake chosen Hubli. Why? Here it is picking up Hubli. Here it is picking up Hubli. Why? Because I've frozen this row also. So undo this, this only the column and copy paste, it shows the number. So 3 people from Bangalore, 6 people from Delhi, 5 from Kanpur, 5 from Chennai, 5 from Hubli. And you can keep doing it. You can say, how many people are in medicine or in fine arts, in economics, how many people have a blood group of B+. What you need to do is, whatever your criteria is, Bangalore or O- or fine arts, you have to put it here. Select this cell as the second argument here. Now, Now let's say I just want to show an example, A plus and O plus. Let's put this. How many people have an A plus and O plus blood group? So I will put a countif range. What is the range? Again, from here to up. Again, I will put a dollar here. The shortcut for dollar is F4. So if you're interested in keyboard shortcuts, you can use F4. And you can cycle down through F4. So if I just put one F4, it just gives both the dollars 1, 2, like that. No, nothing. So 1 or maybe 2 because we want the row to be frozen. Again, dollar, comma. What is the criteria? The criteria is this A plus. Again, I'll put a dollar on the column, not the row. 4 people with A plus and 10 people with O plus. Similarly, you can do for multiple things. Now, coming to the next if formula, the next is sum if. So there's a tussle between the medical, the medical anyway, the fees is very high. You want to see, the college wants to see, there are basically 4 streams here. Engineering, economics, fine arts, and medicine. So the college wants to see which of these are giving better revenue. You can just copy paste these here, and fees is this column, right? So the sum if formula is that sum if, again range. Now, sum if has, see, in countif, you have only one range. This, in the hometown column, count these hometowns. In the sum if, you have 2 ranges. So in the streams column, you sum the fees for engineering, for example, or medicine. So basically, you have 2 ranges here. You can see in the formula. One is range, criteria, and sub-range. So the first range refers to the reference range. Reference range is this, where you have to pick from. I have to pick economics from which column or from which block of cells. I'm picking economics from this column, which is C2 to C51, which is stream of study. Again, I will put the dollar sign to block it to freeze the cells here. Now, criteria, what is the criteria? Criteria is economics. Again, I will put a dollar sign here in front of the column to freeze the column. Okay. Then I will put sum range. Now, this is a sum range. What is the sum range? The range which has to be summed. What is that range which has to be summed? It is a fee, because we are looking at fees. It can be, CGP also or whatever. But fees, this is the range. Again, I will put dollar here using F4. I'm using the shortcut F4. Close the bracket, enter. So this is the total fees of economics. This is the total fees of engineering, from fine arts, from medicine. Okay, so obviously medicine being 10 lakh per year kind of course, you have, it's more expensive, but this is how you can do a sum if. Okay, now how does sum if apply to in for us in real life is we may have multiple teams which are getting multiple levels of cost. They have multiple levels of revenues. So is team A getting more revenue than team B, or what are the revenues each team is getting, and is the revenue equivalent to a cost? Those kind of things you can figure out. Now, having done this, I want to figure out what is the CTC, first year CTC of each of the streams. So what will it give me is that I can just copy paste it here. It will come here, paste it. Now, what has happened is I have frozen this entire thing, Therefore, this F column, I've frozen the F column, so it is not picking up from the total CTC. So what I need to do is, the correction which I need to make is, I need to remove the dollar from the column part. Remove, Sorry, sorry. Remove the dollar, press enter, copy this, paste this. But I need to keep the dollar from I need to keep both the dollars in the stream part. Why? Because I am looking at first year CTC again on stream, not on anything else. So I keep the entire block C2 to C51 frozen for the first range, the range on which I'm picking up economics and so on. And remove the dollar, remove the freezing from the columns on the second range, which is the range which I have to sum, which is where I will now get a proper 280. So it is getting 280 lakhs. Economics students, total 218 lakhs. Yeah, it is coming here. So now the simple job is to just copy paste what we have learned earlier. Sorry. Yeah. So this is what is the first year CTC. So this is sum F, this is count F, this is sum F. So because this file will go to you. Keep saving, keep saving. Yep. Same thing you can do average if. So how do you do an average if is, again, let's keep the same thing. Let's not complicate matters. So, we will type average if formula. Again, the range remains the same. Again, F4. Again, we will choose the criteria as this. We will freeze only the column, not the row. And we will choose the freeze. Here we will freeze only the row, not the column. So only $2 to $51, not $F$2. Right? 8,000. Sorry, 80,000, which is, it doesn't really matter because everything is same. What will matter is when we move this to CTC and copying this, moving it to entrance exam score, get something. So this, you get the average CTC, the average entrance exam score, and so on for these streams. Okay, so let us format it. We have done formatting in the first time. Format number. Format it as number, keep it at 2 decimal places. Cut. Yep. And again, format it as number, 2 decimal places. Done. So now you have 3 if formulas: count if, sum if, and average if. Now I will teach you one more if formula, nested if. Nested if, we will do a CTC classification or a CGPA classification we can do. Now, here we have seen that we have just done one level of if where we got high, low, or pass, fail, like that. Okay, now suppose we want to put as good, bad, fail, like that. Let us say, I'm just putting it here, CGPA less than 3 is fail, 3 to 7, keeping it simple. Yeah. See, okay, now what did I do? Excel, I typed 3 to 7. It showed us 3rd July. Excel is a number cruncher, it will show 3rd July. But if I wanted to show 3-7, what I do is I can put a single quotation like this. So it will read it as text. Okay. It just reads that 3 to 7 as text. It does not try to convert it to a date. So we will put average, and above 7, we will say good. Let's say. Let's keep it up. So this is for ranking. Average CGPA, we will work with this figure, average CGPA. We will say if. Now nested if means what? So there is if inside one if, inside one if, inside one if. So it is inside a nest. There are multiple nests we can form out of in the if formula. If logical test. So we will have to choose to type the formula in a way which is simple for us to type and simple for Excel to understand. So here we have 3 factors, okay? Less than 3 fail, greater than 7 good, and between 3 to 7 average. So basically, if we just say less than 3 fail and greater than 3 is 7, greater than 7 is good, and the rest are average, this is how we can put it, right? We don't have to put 3 conditions. We can just put 2 conditions that, yeah, this is one condition, this is another condition, and the rest are good. Or this is one condition, this is another condition, the rest are fail. Do you understand? Any doubts, please ask. No doubts? Okay. We will have to put a test now. To put an if, sorry, not if. What is the first logical test? First logical test is average CGPA is less than 3, right? Then what is it? Fail. Sorry. Fail. Otherwise, it is not pass. Now, in this one, in column O, we just did pass and fail. But here, if it is less than 3, it is fail. Otherwise, you have to put again another if formula because there are 2 more factors to consider in otherwise, the other than fail. Otherwise, what do I put? Put another bracket. Otherwise, if. This is nested if inside if. There's I don't know what is the average age of this group, but people who are born in the 70s and all, we used to have these Russian dolls with, one, you open the doll half and there's another equal, identical doll inside it. You open that, uske andar ek aur rehta hai, and so on. So those are, so it is like this, nested if. So then again, the logical test, what is now the logical test is? Again, the same N2. N2 value if true, let's put greater than 7. What happens if it is greater than 7? This is good. Good. I'm just typing it in capital letters to be clear. Then if N2 is greater than 7 is good, then otherwise what? Otherwise it is average. Ho gaya. The inside if, the nested if, which is the inside if, that gets closed, and the outside if also gets closed. So you must remember to put 2 brackets. And if you see the color of the brackets here, this color is red. So it means that these 2 red brackets refer to this formula. If N2 greater than 7 is good, otherwise average. The black brackets refer to the outside formula, outside if. Okay, this person is a fail. Let us copy paste it by double clicking. Let us test it. Okay. So let us put a filter here. Hey, sorry. What have I done? What have I done? Nothing. Okay. Put a filter here. Let us just select all the fails and see if the formula is correct. So 2.35, 2.93, 1.93, it is lesser than 3. So these 3 guys that failed. Yes, poor fellows. Average. So 6, I said between 7 and 3. Okay, so this is higher than 3, this is lesser than 7. Yep. Yes. Average, nothing is higher than 7, nothing is lower than 3. Let's look at the good guys. Yep. All of them above 7. Perfect. Formula is working. So like I told you last time, if Excel gives an error, there is some mistake in the formula which I have done. Okay. So if instead of n2 greater than 7, I type n2, some mistake. So basically what we have done is we have three conditions and there are only three conditions. Say either you are fail or you are average or you are good. So what we can create is we can create a formula using only two conditions and put the rest as the third condition. So if you are less than 3, you are fail. If you are higher than 7, you are good. And if you are in between, you are average. There cannot be a fourth thing. Now, if there is a fourth thing, fourth piece, we can add it. We can say, let's say, instead of this, I'll put a single column, say 7 to 9 is good, and I will say greater than 9 is distinction. We get distinction in college, this PIU1 distinction. How do we do this? Easy, put another here. If n2 greater than 7 is equal to good, then this moves out. Value if false becomes, now let me do it in the other way, n2 greater than 9. This will be a little bit complicated, even I have forgotten how to do it, but let me try. This distinction then if n2 greater than 7, I don't think this will work. I'll have to work on it a little bit.
This will not work.
नहीं कुछ तो गड़बड़ है.
So only one condition we can give. You can use the and. If n2 is greater
Yeah, I
than
can use
10,
the and here. Yes.
yeah, and n2 is less than 9.
Okay, now. Okay, it has failed. Now what we need to do is put 9 per column. So let's do this. Okay, everybody is good. So it got confused between average and it made a mistake. Yes, it's giving only good and pass. Okay. So what do we do now? The next formula is and. So we can use an and formula here and create it. So fine. So this is actually, I think, not something. It's getting little too much into detail. So I'll leave it for now. In fact, I normally don't use nested if more than twice. So I myself have to learn on this. But and formula we'll see here when we look at a high performer. A high performer and is all conditions must be true, and we use or when any one condition can be true. So what's the high performer logic? High CGPA and high salary. So let us say, let's remove this for the time being. We will say CGPA greater than 7 and CTC greater than CTC. What was the average? 16 greater than 20. Let's see, greater than 20. So we say high performers Hmm. So, how do we do a high performer? So we say if, as usual, and within this we say and. And if and. So and we have both the conditions here. Okay. If and. So we put, instead of saying A and B, we in Excel we will say it's a programming language. We will say and AB. And average CGPA. Sorry, I put here greater than 7. This is logical 1. Logical 2 is first year CTC greater than 20. ये हो गया. This is the if का condition, bracket closed. Then we say top performer. So what is the value if true? Value if true is top performer. One moment, I'm getting a call. We just cut the call. Sorry. Yeah. And value if false, let's just call them average. Okay, bracket close, and the bracket close, and one bracket. If and into, okay, so what did I do? What mistake did I make? Okay. So this guy's average because he has got a high CPC. Sorry, this is a this should be greater than. This should also be greater than. So he's got a he's failed. Just copy it down. Now you look at this. He's got a high CPC above 20 and CGPA is above 7. So he's a top performer. This guy again, he's got a 22 and a 7.45. He's got a top performer. This guy has got 23 but 5.38 less than 7. So he's average. This person has 22 and 8.98. So he's a top performer, like that. So this is how we do a if with an and formula. High CGPA and high salary. Now let's look at high potential. So the guy has either got a high CGPA or a high salary, but not both. Okay. So we'll just put here is equal to if, again they put or before the brackets. Instead of saying A or B, we say or AB. This is greater than 7, comma 7. CTC is greater than 20. Value if it is high potential. Otherwise, we will say normal. Otherwise, the average will be too many averages here. Now this guy is normal. So this guy is also high potential because he's already a top performer. But there are other high potential people here. So what the OR formula does is it takes any one to be condition. Any one condition can be true, but if both are true, then also it shows the same thing. So in this condition, let's say this guy is a top performer because both the conditions are true. First year CTC is higher than 20 and CGPA is higher than 8.5. So it will still show us high potential. Okay. Because anyway, I have not put anything higher than that. So this is something this nested if, yes, you will be able to use multiple times, but if with and if with or, there are also some formulas which are not very commonly used, but yes, it's good to know. Then there's another thing. It's what we call a concatenate. This is also again more of a filter formula than. So you want to show, let's say, people from hometown and street. Okay. So we'll just insert, like we learned last time, we'll just insert it here. And we will put a combination of hometown dash street. So the formula is, it's a long word. Concatenate. Concatenate. Yes. Concatenate hometown. Okay. Now we have to insert a dash in between. So what we will do is we'll put a comma. We'll put quotation like what we learned last time, is that when we put a text or some symbol, we put a dash here. Same as what we do in if formulas. And then we will say put another comma and we will say stream and bracket closed. So this is telemedicine. Another way of doing it, instead of typing that long word concatenate, is and. So we say this simple, sorry, we forgot the bracket, equal to bracket, this, and just the and symbol, ampersand symbol, again, quotation, dash, quotation close, again, ampersand symbol, shift 7, this, close the bracket, enter Mumbai Economics. You can use both of them. Either you want to type this longer word, you can type it, or you can type this. Again, copy paste, double click, you get the same thing here. So this is more for, I would say, it can be used in VLOOKUP kind of cases, which we will come to in a next couple of slides. But it is more for, in most cases, this can be used for exhibit rather than real calculations. Okay, this is the text function. Now, is. This is how we basically detect whether the number, and this comes in use in very large databases when we have a number if is, let's say, where should I over? Let's right. Okay, let me insert a few rows here because these things are old. Okay, now, this is very, it's not. So if it is, if I am saying is number and selecting this, it will say true. Okay, I'll just show it as an example. I'll not do a big calculation out of this. Now, suppose I type here, I just copy paste this guy's city name. It will say false. So when I say this is number, true. Now this one, if I say is number, Bangalore, false. Now next one is text. Obviously, you know what will happen. So I say is text, Bangalore, it should say true. It says true, yes. I type this same thing here, it will say false because there's not a text as a number. Is blank. So if I have any blank cells here, then it is an easy way of identifying. So if I have, let's say, all these are false, and let's say somebody forgot to fill in these numbers, I get a true here. Now, how to use it? That is, I'll come to later. Oh, let's leave it. Let's leave it because I'll show you how to use it later on. Yeah, is error. So if the formula results in error, then you get, and yes or no. So if I am using this formula, where is the formula? Let's say I'm putting equal to here. So yeah, that is a little complicated because we have to use a formula. Let us use this formula. Hmm. Okay, I'll use a simple formula. The simple formula is I'm trying to average a text. Instead of going for complicated things, we'll try to average a test and get a zero. Now, how do I do it? I want to find out whether this is an error. So is error, what is the formula? Average of this, let's say, two brackets, close, yes, true. Why? Because I'm trying to average text fields. It cannot be averaged. I can always try to average number field, false, yes, it is not an error. It can give a proper formula. Again, those are pretty advanced ways, advanced use of Excel here, is function data validation. Now lookup. The lookup is probably the, I mean, I don't know, Excel has two or three backbones, but this is one of the main backbones of Excel. Basically, VLOOKUP. There is something called HLOOKUP, which is used in probably 1 in a million cases. I used it once in my life. And then I did something else. What you do is, it simplifies the table. Okay. Now, let us look at, I want to summarize it. Okay. And I want to, okay, these are very populated. Let's look at data where now I want to put these guys. Let's take the serial number and name of student and put it here. And we will put a new score which says disciplinary issues. This is the issue. Okay. And we will just say yes or no. Yes, yes. No, 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 no. Yes, no. Sorry. No, 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 no. Yes, yes. Sorry. Most people don't have disciplinary issues in their life. Okay. Now this is the discipline. Sorry. Now I want to put the disciplinary issues. I want to make a summary sheet where I have the student name, the student roll number. Okay, I'm just copy pasting it from there. And I want to have the average CGPA, or let's make it even simpler. I want to say whether it's pass fail. And I want to say whether he has, what was the other one? CTC high or low, and discipline. So I'm using CTC high, low, and discipline issues, yes or no. Simple. Let us make this header like we did. Bold, double click, So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to pull data from two different tables. Okay. So what is the formula? Formula is VLOOKUP. V look up. V is vertical. V stands for vertical. So it's a vertical lookup. So we are pulling up, we are looking up the columns. So what is the lookup value is this. Now again, here we'll have to freeze the column. So we will put a dollar in front of the column, in front of B, right? Table array. What is the table I am pulling from? So I'm pulling from this table. This is the table. And the table array should have the first column, which is the same as the lookup value. The lookup value I'm putting up is the name of the student. So I should not start the table array from column A. I should start from column B. Table array, just drag it. Just drag it to the end. Right now it doesn't matter. Table array. Now here again, because I have to freeze the entire column, I am putting a dollars in front of all of them, of both rows as well as columns. Okay. Now the third one is column index number. How do you do a column index number? This manually you can do first initially. So column index, I will start counting. So this is column number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like that. So I want average CGPA. I counted wrong. So average, sorry, I want pass or fail. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 is pass or fail. So 15, comma. It says true is approximate match, false is exact match. Now we are looking for exact match. So we will type here false, or we can type 0 also actually in case of false. Now click. Now I picked the wrong column. Why have I picked the wrong column? Because I have too many columns and I forgot to count properly. So what I need to do is I will insert a row here and put it 1, 2, 3, 4. And see, like I taught you that selection, if I just drag it, it should come properly. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Now this is number 1. And here what I do is I do it again. We look up. Sorry. We look up this one. I freeze the column. $B, comma. I go to students. Select all of this. Right. Again, freeze both rows and columns. Put dollars everywhere. Comma. Column index number. How do I do column index number? This is 16. Select this. I will here freeze the row. Okay. No, I'll have to freeze the row and the column. Sorry. Yeah. Comma. I will type false because I want an exact match. I don't want an approximate match. I don't even know what it does when I ask for an approximate match. Is that straight? Again, drag it. We know that there were 3 guys who had failed. 1, 2, 3. Yep, these guys, 3 guys who had failed. CTC high and low. Now I can just copy it here, right? But I will not get the CTC because I will again get the fail. But here, CTC high and low, I know that CTC high and low is now column number 17, right? Which is R. What is column number 17? It is R1, right? We know from cell R and 1, column number 17. So we do it here. Instead of Q1, we just delete it and we type R1 just to be safe. Hi. Okay, this is good. Now I'm picking this from a different table. Okay, so again, now to type it again, we look up. Lookup value is again the name of the student, again with a dollar in front of the column so that it is frozen. Table array now will come to discipline. Here it is very easy. Column index number, again, I'll freeze the whole thing. Column index number is 2. Very easy, right? 2, and range lookup is false. So this guy has disciplinary issues. So this is what you get. Okay, so these are random numbers. You might find in real life that people who have a high low CTC have disciplinary issues typically. That's what happens in colleges. But this is how you use VLOOKUP. You take data. So this is become a very unwieldy file now. It's huge. It's huge file. You don't need it to present to somebody. Typically, when you are presenting to somebody, you do not need this much of data. You will need only 1 or 2 columns out of that. So this is how you do a VLOOKUP. So rename the sheet to VLOOKUP. This is how you do a VLOOKUP, and you can pull out data from one table and paste it into another table. The relevant data for Aditi Mishra will be here. Whatever 1 column, 2 column, 3 columns you need, that is the best way of doing that. VLOOKUP. Now, so every time you are basically what you are doing, you are avoiding manual searching, because every time you have to go to this guy, okay, Arav Sharma, he pass or fail, then type fail somewhere, and then you say CTC high or low, the discipline issues, you have to go to another sheet and say yes or no. You can also actually do a VLOOKUP across a different Excel sheet, not only a different Excel page. You can do it in a different Excel sheet also, or you can do it in the same sheet. You are connecting tables logically, so multiple tables are now connected logically. You can reduce duplication, so every time you have to go back and you don't need to really search it, because I have just what I did here, when I'm copying the formula from here to here, I just copied the formula and changed the reference of the cell of the column index number. And this is basically whenever you work with advanced Excel, you will probably most of the time you will need a VLOOKUP to be done. Okay. So we have done VLOOKUP. What is the syntax? So always use false. So when I use this, this false. So if it is true, when I use true approximate match, a guy may be named Arav Mishra. It will pick up Arav Mishra and Arav Sharma together. It can pick up Aditi Mishra and Aditya Iyer in the same sheet and show their number together. It will get confused. So never use true. Always use false, and always start with the column you want, the table array. Which is the column I want? I want the name of the student to come first. So this is my reference here is B2. This is the name of the students. So when I do the table array, I pick up from this column B and not from column A. But those are basics of VLOOKUP. Now coming to advanced sorting and filtering, again, going here, let's do a sorting and filtering. We know how to sort, select everything. Use some random thing which I've done, then call it random. Well, select everything and go to data, go to sort. So sorted out name of student, then I can add a level and say stream of study. I can add a level. I can say entrance exam score. I can add a level and do whatever. And let's call it largest to smallest. Sort it. Okay. Okay, my mistake. So what I do now is I do a sort. So I should not sort by name of student. I should first sort by. I should first sort by, let's say, stream of study. Then I add level hometown. Then I add level is name of student, because then it will come alphabetically. So now you see economics is coming alphabetical order: economics, engineering, fine arts, and medicine. Inside economics is coming again in alphabetical order, Bangalore, Chennai, B, C, D, H, like that. And inside that, it is coming in alphabetical order of the names. So again, multiple things we can do. We can do here, we can do entrance exam score, a high, low. We can do another simple thing. Let's say we again unsort it. Go back to here. Sort it as a stream wise. Let's say, let's put a stream of study, cell values A to Z, and we will put a stream wise, let's say, average CGPA. So we know in which stream who is the highest performer and the lowest performer. So now we know that in economics, this guy is the highest performer, and in economics, this guy is the lowest performer, and so on for every stream, we know that. Okay, we undo it, control Z. Then filter. How do we filter? We can also filter by multiple criteria. So we can filter here. So we can filter here. Let's say we filter on the numbers. So here we have already looked at text filtering, right? We saw that we can select a guy from Delhi, okay, and here we can select a guy from Delhi who is doing medicine, okay, and here we can select a guy from Delhi who is based in USA. So there's only one guy. So this is okay. Now this is how we use multiple text filters. Now we can use multiple text filters along with number filter. We find a guy from Hyderabad who is getting a CTC of, let's say, 10, or who is getting a CTC from of greater than, let's say, 11 lakhs. So these three guys are getting greater than 11 lakhs. Or we can select a number filter, we can say greater than or equal to 11. So this 11 guy is also included here. Or we can say a number filter is less than, again, 11. So only 10 is included here. Or we can say, less than or equal to, above average, below average, so on and so forth, we can do that. So I will actually filter people who are below average in this. So let's say below average. So these guys are below average. Even in the total one, let's remove the Hyderabad here filter. Select all. So all these people are actually below average. All these people are below average because we have seen that 16 is the average. So anything is 16 and below, it is showing here. So we say it is number filter. So it's a very useful tool to figure out above average, below average, instead of doing calculations here. So you do above average. Now the above average comes here. You do top 10. Top 10. I want to do top 5. Okay. These are the top 5. No, okay, they're the same thing. So we are getting multiple things. But yeah. We'll leave it at that. So filtering is a tool for discussion. So if two guys are sitting there, or you are presenting to somebody, the principal of this college, saying that, who are the top 10 people who have got a CGPA in the year 1. So I will do a number filter. I will say top 10, and I will say, okay, and these are the top 10 guys who have got a high CGPA in the year 1. So who are the top 10 guys who have got a high CGPA in year 2? Okay, I'll just do a select all here. Sorry. And year 2 also I can do the same thing. Who are the guys who have got a top 10? Who have got people who have got a greater than something CGPA in the first year and something less than that in the second year, above average, below average. All these things you can do here while discussing. Okay. And then that is where you take decisions. You take decisions based on who are the best guys, who is and in terms of business, it will be, for example, if you are in a company, then you are selling multiple products. Which product is giving you the highest revenue? Which product is giving you the highest, margin? the top 10 products which are giving us highest margins, highest revenues, right? That way we can use filters and while we're discussing with someone. Date filters, you can do text filter. Date filter we don't have here, but so filtering is how we interrogate data. So we want to go dive deep and do it. That is how we do an data interrogation. Remove duplicates, select column or table data, remove duplicate. This is a little high end, but let's just select this. We'll create a new sheet and paste it so it doesn't become confusing. And we do go to data, and this is where's the remove duplicate. This one is remove duplicates. It's a little funny thing, but you can hover your cursor and it will show remove duplicates. So we'll remove duplicates from here, and I will get only these sheets. This is useful when you are creating, let's say, a VLOOKUP kind of a table when you want, the from Delhi, how many number of people are counted. For example, I have done here, right? So I'm going to count it. Now you want all the cities here. What I do is, I don't know, now it's only 6 cities, but in reality, if you look at an Indian college, you may have, I don't know, 500 cities or something. You just do this and you say, remove duplicates, column C, 41 values removed, 9 unique values remain. So these are 9 values, and then you can add your COUNTIF and SUMIF kind of formulas here. Use case of removing duplicates. This deletes data. So you have to use it with great caution. Don't use a remove duplicate in the main sheet, in the main data.